Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is probably one of, if not the most controversial Need for Speeds to ever be released. And today we're going to be talking about Need for Speed Hot Pursuit in a completely 100% unbiased manner. I hold no allegiances, and I am completely neutral in my opinion on Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. So with that, let's get right into the video.
Since the next update for Need for Speed Unbound is going to be Hot Pursuit themed, I think today was a perfect day to go back to Hot Pursuit, revisit it, and just check it out. I don't know why anyone doesn't like Hot Pursuit when it's got the absolute hardest trailer of any Need for Speed game. So from 2007 through about 2009, the series is kind of starting to flounder a little after so many years of just being #1, selling out every single title. The series started to struggle with Pro Street, Undercover, and Shift. We got you're getting cops. That's I will say I love the Pursuit Interceptors. They're clean as fuck. Okay, pal. Okay, Buster. Now our car looks like shit. That's great. And people were starting to get bored of the formula, even though they were switching it up a good bit with Shift and Pro Street. People were starting to get a little bored. People were asking for 3 new games: a new Hot Pursuit, a new Underground, and a new Most Wanted. And in 2010, after a couple years of Criterion cooking in the background, released Hot Pursuit and ushered in a whole new generation of Need for Speed. The problem is I'm just so good at this game. I'm so cracked at this game, bro. I remember this being one of the first Need for Speed games that I followed obsessively from the time it was announced to the time it came out. I didn't even have any consoles that could run the game. I actually pre-ordered this game for Wii. Oh, I got the panorama cop cars. I can only imagine what the tax rate in Seacrest County is. So why was this game so controversial? Not everyone liked this game. I mean, the game reviewed incredibly well, it sold incredibly well, but there are a lot of people who are not big fans of this game. For one thing, the game is a lot different than what Pro Street and Undercover were. It's the complete opposite of the Underground series, you know? Instead of racing lower end cars with massive visual customization, open urban city, instead we're racing supercars running from souped up cops in hypercar Lamborghinis and supercars and all that, with much more open and windy roads, I guess you could say. And that's another thing that I just did, the takedowns. Since this game was developed by Criterion, a lot of people weren't huge fans of the takedowns and the weapons and all that. They felt it was too much like Burnout, and this was prior to Most Wanted 2012 coming out. And if you thought this game was like Burnout, then oh boy. But what I think really upset people the most was the fact that we went from customization, open city map, you know, gritty story to next to no story. I saw that and I immediately knew what was coming. To crash cams, exotic cars, no customization, just a lot of things that this game removed from previous games of the last couple years. Commentating and driving at the same time is not easy. The game basically did a 180. A lot of people who became fans of the Need for Speed games at the time, throughout from Underground throughout Undercover, were not happy. A lot of people weren't happy. They wanted the car customization back. They wanted, you know, the Underground style of games back. But this game gave the series a breath of fresh air. It returned the series to its roots, because the first generation of Need for Speed games, from the Need for Speed all the way to Hot Pursuit 2, were like this, and this is a modern reimagining of those games. Oh boy. Yeah, nice try. I gotta teach this cop a lesson. I gotta teach this guy a lesson. Yeah, fuck you, dumbass. Alright, he's gonna shit. We're on shit watch. There we go. When the cops speed ahead, I played this game so much. When the cops just get a massive speed boost ahead of you, you know what's coming. Oh! I need a boost. Come on. Mother. That race was non-canon. That was a non-canon event. I've been so focused on commentating that I completely forgot I had not used my turbo. Alright, let's lock in. I'm geeked up. Let's lock in. The game also introduced weapons, like I said. And this is also a very controversial move. Because the original Hot Pursuits, you didn't have weapons. The only weapons were the weapons that the cops had. And the weapons do kind of get a bad rep, but I think it's more so because they screwed them up in Rivals. The weapons in Hot Pursuit are incredibly balanced. Each weapon has its own counter for the most part. And I mean, a lot of the weapons are also just passive, such as turbo, jammer. A lot of them are more defensive than offensive. When you're playing in single player, the other racers don't use weapons against you. So you don't have to worry about overtaking somebody and then them attempting to EMP you. You only have to worry about the cops, and each weapon can be countered. I can counter a spike strip or an EMP with a jammer. I can EMP a cop and he can do the same thing to me. The tools at my disposal each have their own counter, but if you're good enough at the game, you can make them work. And in fact, we got a good straight here. There's probably a roadblock up ahead, so it's probably not a good idea. But you know what, YOLO swag. As much as I'm not a big fan of weapons in a Need for Speed game, they're very well balanced in Hot Pursuit. Like right there, I was right on a course for that guy. You've got multiple things happening at once. You need to, it's kind of like a high-speed game of chess. You gotta check whoever's trying to mate you. I don't think that's the correct chess term, but you know what I mean. I think we're gonna clutch it this time. That was the canon ending for that race right there. That was the canon ending. So the whole reason I'm playing Hot Pursuit is because the next update for Need for Speed Unbound is going to be like Hot Pursuit based, and I'm hoping that this update for Unbound brings like a cops versus robbers style game mode. I am not beating Rick Astley's score. This is actually like this is how bad I am when I'm actually commentating. If I wasn't commentating, I was locked in, I would have caught this guy like 20 minutes ago. There we go. But no, I think Unbound has a good platform for having a 4v4 cops versus robbers mode. That's what the they're taking each other out. What was going on there? Easy bust. Yeah, no, I mean, PvP is already 8 people in like a race, so having a team of 4 cops and a team of 4 racers, I think that could be a lot of fun. And I know weapons are controversial, but having weapons implemented into this like 4v4 cops versus robbers mode, I think that could be a lot of fun, especially if they're more like the weapons in Hot Pursuit, where each one's kind of like balanced and has its own counters. But here's the thing, Criterion is also a very small team right now, so I don't know what they're capable of. They put out a fantastic update with the underground stuff. Having a Hot Pursuit mode with weapons and a Be the Cop mode, I feel that's a lot more complicated than adding in drifting and drag racing. I want them to work within their means. I don't want them to try and do something that they're not capable of doing with the team they have right now. So I'm trying to speak kind of realistically here. I don't know how big of a scale this update will be, but I would love to see, in addition to Hot Pursuit, like a Hot Pursuit cops and robbers mode, adding in more levels of heat to the pursuit mode, or to the police. Maybe having like supercar cop cars come after you at like heat level 6 or 7, but they only come after you if you're in like an S or S plus class car. Because the cops are pretty easy to avoid in S+. Yeah, give the cops in Unbound something like this. And then being able to customize your own cop cars to your liking as well, like putting your own liveries and everything on. This is something I think they really missed out on with Hot Pursuit Remastered, because Hot Pursuit Remastered brought its own livery editor, but it was only for the race cars. You couldn't make your own cop liveries or cop designs. And I think that was a massive L. A massive missed opportunity. And I will say this, some of the most fun I've had in Unbound is doing the Gauntlet playlist. So if they can achieve the magic of the Gauntlet playlist, but having it like a 4v4 cops and robbers mode, and let's not just stop at like a Hot Pursuit mode too. And when I'm saying cops and robbers mode, I'm thinking more of like a Hot Pursuit-esque mode from like Rivals or Hot Pursuit, obviously. But it'd be cool to have like some old cops and robbers mode from like Undercover, like Carbon, like Pursuit Tag, or where like the last person to finish a race, the last person to finish a lap in a race turns into a cop until there's like only one like racer left. We're having a cops and robbers mode where a team of racers have to like deliver like a stolen car or like gold or money to a certain part of the map, and then the cops have to stop them. To end this off, we're gonna do a hypercar race between the Bugatti Veyron and this CCXR Koenigsegg. Even though there was like a free roam, the open world wasn't like you could just kind of cruise around. You couldn't get into cop chases or anything. The game is still very much a track-based racer, but in this whole like map, they still put in a ton of exciting. They kind of crammed a ton of exciting locations into one. You got the desert, you got like the Pacific Northwest type area that we're in now. You have like the kind of like the Monterey Santa Cruz area with the beach. And I just love the way they designed the map. They designed it with like high-speed chases in mind and high-speed driving. And I think overall the game just works incredibly well. Again, this game reviewed well. People loved it. I love this game. I think it gets some unnecessary hate, but just talking about what the kind of era it brought in. For the next 5 years after this game, the series went into this kind of supercar era, as most people call it. Even though, I mean, it is true, because we had the run after this, and we had Most Wanted 2012, and then we also had Rivals. Hot Pursuit ushered in a new era for Need for Speed that not everyone enjoyed, and after 5 years, people were clamoring for a new Underground-esque game, and then that's when Ghost delivered 2015. And I have a whole retrospective video on Need for Speed 2015, which you should check out right here. And it's a very good video, I promise. And as God's strongest Need for Speed glazer, I like to think positively of as many Need for Speed games as I can, trying to positives and everything Need for Speed related. And I'm trying to do another Payback right now. And sometimes it is definitely a challenge. It is definitely a challenge, especially the last couple years. But this video, I just kind of wanted to play a little Hot Pursuit. I haven't played it in a hot minute, and also talk about the upcoming update, because I am extremely excited for the Hot Pursuit update for Unbound. All the updates they've been putting out, and again, I'm going to glaze up Need for Speed Unbound here, but all the updates they've been putting out recently have been absolutely fucking fantastic, and I'm incredibly excited. As a Hot Pursuit stan, I'm super excited for what they're putting out in an update next month. And I want to give a massive shout out to Polish Car Hunter, who's currently my only member here on YouTube. But if you want to join the list with him on it, be sure to hit that join button down below. Thank yous all for hanging out with me tonight. I'll catch yous all later. Have a good night, everyone.